Hey, good evening. Happy Saturday night. I hope you guys had a great Saturday during the day. It is 10:30, and as I have promised myself, I will be off technology by 11. So I am hopping on here to go live quickly and chat with you guys for a few minutes before I get off technology. I did end up napping today, which was not, which I actually did purposely because I have a lot of stuff to get done tonight because on Sabbath, on Shabbat, we don't do any kind of work. We don't do any kind of prep. And so I know that I need my Saturday night tonight. But as promised, I'm still going to be off of technology. So the things that I am doing, I can actually be productive with and not be up way too late doing things that I shouldn't be doing, which tends to be my vicious cycle of things. But I wanted to come on live tonight and talk to you guys. Tonight starts actually one of the two full fasts in Jewish tradition. So we have Yom Kippur, which most of you, if you're not Jewish, have probably heard of. That is comes right after Rosh Hashanah, right? That's our day of repentance. So where we have a full 26-hour fast. But tonight starts Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, the month of Av in the Jewish calendar, where it's also a full fast, a full 26-hour fast. So it started at 8:40 tonight, and we fast until about 9:40 tomorrow night. And it's a full fast, so no food, no water, and, nothing. And there are some other restrictions with it because it's a day of mourning. It's a day where it came about. There are a lot of bad things have happened in Jewish history on Tisha B'Av, but the big one was the temple was destroyed. So 3 weeks ago, on the 17th of the month of Tammuz, the Izzy, go away. The dog, when we sit on the floor, the dog likes to come nudge me. Tell me to stand up. Izzy, go. So on the 17th of Tammuz, which was 3 weeks ago, was when was commemorating the piercing of the walls of the temple. And so we had a half fast that day, and then it's been 3 weeks sort of a mourning kind of period. And then tonight and tomorrow is that intense mourning where we act as if we are mourners. So when somebody in Jewish tradition dies and we are mourners, we sit on low chairs, or we don't, there are a whole bunch of restrictions. So on Tisha B'Av, we fast, we don't eat anything, we don't wear leather shoes, we don't anoint ourselves, we sit on low chairs or on the floor, which is why I'm sitting on the floor, which is why the dog was coming to get me. So it's a day of mourning and a day of introspection, so that goes on all day tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow. But I wanted to come and talk to you guys tonight about the idea of the what the hell effect, right? Yesterday before Shabbat, hello, Kathy. Yesterday before Shabbat, I was talking, I asked the question on my live about, do you throw in the towel when things get tough? Izzy, stop, come here. Do you throw in the towel when things get tough, right? When you're struggling with something in your life and it just feels impossible. Is he down? Bed. And it feels impossible. Do you just throw in the towel and give up, or do you fight through, and use that towel to wipe off the sweat and move forward, right? And it's hard for people. It's really hard. And I challenge people, really to take that hard and to, wipe off the sweat. Go for it. Go, take that hard and turn it into something good. And this conversation, right? There's this whole idea of that people get into something, especially when somebody is struggling with weight, right? It becomes the what the hell effect. And I say this a lot to people, right? When you fall off your plan, right? And you go and you eat things that you shouldn't eat. You just say, what the hell, right? I've already blown it for today, so I'm just going to go on and just let it really just sort of, kill me for the rest of the day, and then I'll start again tomorrow, right? I mean, how many of you, if I can see there are a bunch of people on, give me a thumbs up, give me a something if that's ever happened to you, right? You've just gone out, had something or done something that you shouldn't do and be like, what the hell, I'll start again tomorrow, I'll start again on Monday, I'll start again whenever, right? So it's such a common thing, and so many of us do that. Right, and actually, I sort of felt that way today, right? Why I started talking about the fact that we're fasting, because that was sort of what went through my head today, and fortunately, I did not let that control me. But it's so easy to let it control you, right? It's this what the hell effect. I'm going to be fasting all day tomorrow. I'm not going to be eating anything. So what does it really, so let it go. I'll have whatever I want today. It doesn't matter, sort of, whatever. And then I'll be back on my, after I break the fast. Everything's going to get all weird anyway. My system's going to be all weird. And then Monday I'll be back on, right? I could totally rationalize everything like that in my head today, right? But I didn't. right? I know, first of all, I know going into a fast that the better I stick to my plan before I go on before I fast, the better I feel and the easier it is for me to fast the next day. And so, but it really, when we do that, when we let that what the hell effect take over and let it control us, then we then spin out of control, right? Then the next day it's like, well, what the hell? I messed up yesterday, so free, go on out. So go on, Izzy, go. I messed up yesterday, so why not? What the hell? I'll just go on today, and I'll start again tomorrow, and I'll start again tomorrow, I'll start again tomorrow, right? We can keep doing that, and we can go in circles and circles and circles, and next thing we know, it's days later, weeks later, months later, right? And then we are not where we want to be. So it's really, I'd love to hear from you. Who else struggles with this? Who else struggles with this concept of, whatever, I've already done it, I've already messed up. I mean, it doesn't just have to be in weight loss. It can be in anything, right? I'll push it off till tomorrow because I already missed it for today, right? Haven't taken care of it today, so what the hell? It'll just wait till tomorrow, right? And then tomorrow you have some other reason, and it's that part of that can fall into procrastination. And that thought process, that mindset, really can just, it becomes that monkey brain in the back of our head. It becomes an excuse as to why we're not going to achieve the goals that we want to achieve, and whatever they are, right? So it goes back to that throwing in the towel that I was talking about yesterday, right? Do we just throw in the towel? Do we just say, whatever, we'll get back to it tomorrow, or I'll get back on it tomorrow, right? If I challenge you, if that's something that you struggle with, right? If that's something you struggle with, stop. And you stop challenge shoes. Stop, think about it. Is this really worth it? Or do I really want to get, Sherry says, now I get it. A what the heck effect. Any day can have a reason to say that. There are excuses every day. Make excuse to make it a positive day instead. Absolutely, Sherry. Absolutely. Right? It can be what the heck, it can be that what the hell if I do something good, right? What if I do something good? What is it going to turn to? I was actually having a conversation with a client about this the other day, and she's like, but what if I do this and it just doesn't work? And I said, but what if you do this and it does work? And she went, oh, right? So let's spin that. Let's take that, and totally flip it into a positive and see how it changes your life, right? And that's sort of what I went through today before going into the fast. I could have. There's all kinds of stuff in my house that I could have eaten and been like, whatever. What does it matter? Tomorrow I'm fasting all day, right? I walked a bunch today because I had to get out of the house, right? So, whatever. And, yes, Sherry says, flip what the heck as you see it heading towards your mouth. Exactly. Absolutely. It's the stop, challenge, choose. It really is all about stop, challenge, choose. Stop, think about it. What are going to be those effects? How am I going to feel later if I actually do this? I'm not going to feel good, right? And I'll tell you, there were things in my house that were definitely staring at me today going, what does it matter if I go ahead and have a little bit of it? But it does matter because, first of all, I wouldn't have felt good this evening. I wouldn't feel good all day tomorrow, right? And part of it was doing because I'm very, I was stressed out. I'm looking at all the stuff around here that I have to do that we don't do on Shabbat, right? But eating food that I shouldn't be eating was not going to relieve my stress. It was not going to take care of the things that need to be taken care of, right? The things that I'm going to be up doing tonight. It was not going to have any effect on my fasting for tomorrow, right? No effect. I mean, my husband actually made the comment because Emma, who is 12 now, has to do the full fast tomorrow. And she didn't eat much for dinner tonight. And he said, she's going to be starving. I don't know how she's going to make it through. And I said, she'll be fine. I said, the truth is what you eat tonight really doesn't change whether you're hungry or not tomorrow as the day goes on. It really has no bearing on that. And that was really what I was thinking to myself was, I could go eat a bunch of stuff with the excuse, with the, what the heck, it's, I'm just going to be able to, not going to be eating tomorrow. So what does it matter? But it does matter. Those things still aren't healthy for me tonight. Those things still aren't good for me tonight. And, yes, Sherry, your stomach feels worse after stress compounded by poor eating choices. Absolutely. Absolutely, for sure. And that's why I have to keep that in check, right? Because when we stress eat, when we do things out of stress, right, it doesn't get rid of the problem. And it gives us this momentary satisfaction. But literally, as soon as you finished eating it and that immediate, pleasure goes away from having that food, right? then the stress comes back, and then we just yearn for more because we're trying to mask it, right? Have you ever sat there stress eating a carton of ice cream, or is that just me? Right? And the reason why when we stress eat like that, we can't just have 2 or 3 bites. When I'm in control, I can have 2 or 3 bites of ice cream and put it away and be totally fine, right? We were at Disney, my kids got their Mickey bars, and they would each give me a bite, and I was totally fine. I didn't need any more. I didn't crave anymore because it wasn't stress eating. I had pure enjoyment from it, pure pleasure from it. But when you're doing it out of stress, right, and you're looking for something to relieve that stress or that anxiety or those bad feelings that are going on, and you take that bite and it gives you that instant pleasure, that instant gratification, and then as soon as you've stopped eating it and that goes away and you're still yearning for more pleasure or instant gratification, you keep eating it, right? That's why somebody can stress eat, me, can stress eat an entire carton of ice cream, right? Because we take one bite and it feels good for a second, for that minute that it's on our lips, and then we need another bite to feel good, and then we need another bite to feel good, but it's not really making us feel good, is it? Right? Not long term. It's making us feel good for those few seconds, right? So we keep doing it. And then, as Sherry said, we feel worse afterwards. We feel really gross, right? At least I do, right? I feel really gross afterwards. And maybe not right away. Sometimes physically I may not feel really gross, but emotionally I feel gross, right? And it's not solving the problem. So, when you're feeling that, what does it matter if I go ahead and do this, right? Stop challenge and choose. Stop yourself and ask, well, what does it matter? Or what would it matter if I do the opposite? What would it matter if I make that healthy choice and do the right thing, the thing that's right for my body, not the big right thing, because there is no right thing, right? But what if I make the choice that is the healthier choice for me? How am I going to feel later, right? And when we do that, when we flip that around and switch it to the positive, things get so much better. And then it becomes easier and easier and easier every single time, right? Because in our brains, we start to learn this feels better. The right choice, the healthy choice, whatever that is, whether it's food, whether it's finances, whatever it is. I mean, this can be the same thing. If you're a stress shopper, or you are a procrastinator because you put things off, right? And you say, what does it matter if I wait till tomorrow? But when you start making that shift and seeing how good it feels when you don't push it off or when you don't follow that negative, everything changes. So I'm going to sign off now. It is about 20 to 11. I got 20 minutes to finish up what I need to do before I am off technology for the night. So I hope you guys had a great Saturday. I will be back here live tomorrow at some point. I'm not sure what time. But 4:11 tomorrow night. So I hope you have a great day. For those of you who are fasting, I hope you have an easy and very meaningful fast. And if you guys want to continue this conversation, please reach out. I would love to chat about it because it's so powerful and it really can change the whole way you look at things. When don't throw in the towel. Use that towel. Wipe that sweat off your brow. Don't let the what the hell effect control your life. Thanks, Sherry. You too. Don't let that control your life. Turn it to the positive. Have a great night. Bye. Say good night to Izzy.